Imagine you are driving alone on a highway. You have a heart condition, something you have managed for years, something your doctor knows about, something your family knows about. And then, in a single moment, everything goes wrong. Your vehicle is involved in an accident. You are unconscious. The emergency call goes out, but the responders on the other end know nothing about you. They do not know your blood type. They do not know what medications you are on. They do not know that you are allergic to a drug they are about to administer. That gap, that terrifying, potentially fatal gap between what responders know and what they need to know, is exactly what Huawei has just moved to close. On February 18, 2026, Huawei began rolling out HarmonyOS NEXT 5.0.1.120 to a range of its flagship devices, including the Mate 60 series and the Pura 70. The update delivers the standard package, system stability improvements, and internal bug fixes. But buried inside this update is something that goes far beyond routine maintenance. Something that, for millions of drivers living with chronic or serious health conditions, could genuinely be the difference between life and death. It is called Travel Escort. Now, before you assume this is another piece of tech marketing dressed up in dramatic language, stop. Because what Travel Escort actually does is specific, technical, and rooted in a very real problem with how emergency response systems currently work. When a vehicle is involved in a serious accident, modern smart vehicles are equipped with a system called eCall, an automatic emergency call that fires the moment a crash is detected. The eCall transmits your location to a rescue center so that help can be dispatched immediately. That system has saved lives. But it has a fundamental limitation. It tells responders where you are. It does not tell them who you are, medically speaking. Travel Escort changes that equation entirely. When your vehicle triggers an eCall, the Travel Escort feature simultaneously transmits your real-time heart rate and your personal medical information directly to the rescue center. The people on the other end of that call are no longer working blind. They know your physiological condition at the moment of the crash. They know your medical history. And critically, hospitals receiving that information can begin preparing your preferred medications before you even arrive. Huawei's own description of the feature reads, "When the vehicle triggers an emergency call, your personal emergency information and real-time heart rate will be reported to the rescue center to assist with rescue efforts. Please ensure that Bluetooth is enabled on the vehicle's infotainment system, mobile phone, and watch." Read that again. Your real-time heart rate, your personal emergency information, reported to the rescue center automatically the moment an accident occurs. No manual input, no fumbling with a phone while injured, no hoping that a bystander knows your medical history. This is not a concept. This is a feature rolling out right now. And here is what makes it genuinely powerful. It is not just a phone feature. It is an ecosystem feature. It requires 3 connected devices working together seamlessly: your Huawei smartphone, your Huawei smartwatch, and your vehicle's infotainment system. The smartwatch is what supplies the real-time heart rate data. The phone is what holds and transmits your personal medical information. The vehicle's eCall system is what triggers the entire process. All 3 have to be connected via Bluetooth for the feature to function. For people with diabetes, heart disease, severe medication allergies, or blood clotting disorders, those extra seconds, those minutes of preparation time at the hospital are not trivial. They are the margin between a successful intervention and a preventable tragedy. Now let's talk about how you actually set this up, because the process is straightforward but specific. You start inside your eligible vehicle. Go into the vehicle settings and navigate to vehicle status, then select Travel Escort. A QR code will appear on the vehicle's infotainment screen. On your Huawei phone, pull down the control center and tap Scan. Point it at the QR code on your dashboard and follow the on-screen steps to link your phone to the vehicle's system. Once you're inside the mobile travel protection interface, tap Personal Emergency Information. This is where you fill in your actual medical details. Blood type, existing conditions, current medications, known allergies, anything that a rescue center or hospital would need to know in an emergency. This information is stored on your device and transmitted only when the e-call is triggered. If your Huawei smartwatch is already linked to your phone and you have authorized the heart rate data sync function, then that part of the process happens automatically. Your watch feeds live heart rate data to the system without any additional steps required. The one non-negotiable requirement, Bluetooth must be enabled on all three devices, the vehicle's infotainment system, your phone, and your watch, simultaneously. Without that, the chain breaks. Now zoom out for a moment and consider what Huawei is actually building here. This is not an isolated feature. Travel Escort fits into a much larger, deliberate strategy. One where smartphones, wearables, and smart vehicles are not separate products, but nodes in a single, health-aware ecosystem. Each device feeds data to the others. Each device makes the others smarter and more capable in moments that matter. Apple introduced crash detection in the iPhone 14 and Apple Watch Series 8 back in 2022, a feature that detects a severe vehicle crash and automatically calls emergency services. Samsung has built extensive health monitoring into its Galaxy Watch lineup. These are meaningful features. But Travel Escort takes a different approach. It does not just detect the accident and call for help. It enriches that call with proactive medical data, live biometrics, and personal health information, delivered to responders in real time. That is a meaningful distinction. Knowing someone was in a crash is valuable. Knowing someone was in a crash, their heart rate spiked to 140 BPM moments before impact, they have type 2 diabetes, and they are allergic to penicillin. That is a fundamentally different level of information. That is information that shapes medical decisions from the first moment of response. The Mate 60 series and Pura 70 are confirmed as compatible devices for the HarmonyOS NEXT 5.00.1.120 update that carries this feature. Availability of Travel Escort itself depends on having a compatible smart vehicle equipped with e-call capability. Regional availability may vary, and Huawei users are encouraged to check their own HarmonyOS update settings to see if the update is available on their device yet. What is also worth noting is who this feature is primarily designed for. Huawei has been transparent about this. Travel Escort is mainly designed for drivers with health problems. This is not a feature being built for edge cases. It is being built for a very large, very real population of drivers who get behind the wheel every day, knowing that their medical condition creates additional risk in any emergency scenario. The integration of real-time heart rate from a smartwatch into an emergency call system is not something that has been done at this scale before in a consumer product. It represents a convergence of health technology, automotive safety, and telecommunications that, until now, existed largely in separate silos. From the name, the feature enables users to add real-time heart rate and personal medical information to the data reported to the rescue center via an e-call. It is a useful feature at times when a vehicle accident takes place, as it will immediately offer rescue services using the driver's physiological data. At the same time, the feature will prompt hospitals to prepare preferred medications beforehand. That last detail, hospitals preparing preferred medications beforehand, deserves attention. It is not just about faster response, it is about better informed response. The difference between a hospital that receives a patient and a hospital that receives a patient along with their complete emergency profile is not a small difference. In critical care, preparation time translates directly into outcomes. So here is the question worth sitting with. In a world where your phone already knows your schedule, your location, your habits, and your health, should it also be the thing that speaks for you in the moments when you cannot speak for yourself? Would you trust your smartphone to share your medical data in an emergency? Or does that feel like a line that should not be crossed? Drop your answer in the comments. And if you found this breakdown valuable, subscribe. Because this is exactly the kind of technology that deserves more than a headline.